We're going to try something a little different. I'm going to put out a few of these Villages Daily Reports. And what this is what happened today in the Villages. There's some minor things that was in today's paper that I didn't report. Certain little incidences, that doesn't really matter. So I'm going to give you the headlines of today's report, the good and the bad. The developer has offered to pay $80 million to satisfy claims in the lingering bankruptcy case in the Villages. Let me stop right there. There's been a rumor going around, I don't know how it got started. People have a tendency to have other people, and me, I get it all the time, where they say, you said, and you said. And I never said. But they misinterpret what you say. And this is a misinterpretation right here. There's a rumor going around that the developer is going to pay $80 million. That does not say that. It says the developer has offered to pay. All this has to be approved in the bankruptcy courts, and none of this has been approved. This is just something that they're offering. A proposed settlement was filed Friday in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Middle District of Florida. It proposes that the money will be utilized for payment of claims through the Villages Health Plan and liquidation. The bankruptcy process has been expensive. Baker & Hostler, LLP, a firm that has long represented the Villages, recently submitted a $2.5 million bill for its services in the bankruptcy case. That only covers the period from July until October. A top-notch New York consulting firm was hired to shepherd the bankruptcy process, and it has submitted a $5.6 million bill. Many others have lined up and are seeking repayment, including medical equipment companies, medical service providers, labs, maintenance and cleaning companies, and individuals. This summer, the Villages Health had to borrow $24 million to sustain its operations. I'm not going to read all this to you because when I did the updates the other day, a lot of this was already in that video, so I'm not going to repeat them. These things are getting way too long for me to keep reading the same things over and over and over. The developer $80 million proposal is independent of and reached separately from a final agreement between the Villages Health and the Department of Justice. In that case, the former health system has agreed that the federal government shall have an allowed claim in the Villages Health bankruptcy case to resolve the Villages Health's self-investigated and self-reported Medicare billing issue, according to the press release issued by the Villages. Self-investigated. I laugh at some of this stuff. Oh, it's just people have no idea what's going on around here. And let me just throw this in here too. The idea of them accepting this $80 million that he's offered to it, I got this from somebody else. I don't know if it's been reported yet, but I'll report it, is because part of that deal is that of them asking the developer for their past W-2s and 1099s and all that stuff that they were asking for, that goes away. So here's the $80 million, that goes away. So then nobody will get any kind of tax records from the people at all. So we'll see what happens. This picture of this guy that you see behind me, those of you that's lived in the Villages for a long time, does that guy look familiar to you? If not, you haven't been keeping up with the news. Remember the story we reported a couple years ago about sex on the square? A guy and some older gal actually had sex on the stage at Lake Sumter Landing, and then later City Fire took advantage of that, and they actually had a drink that you could order. I don't know what it was, but it's called Sex on the Square. Well, this is the guy. A man involved in the infamous Sex on the Square scandal was jailed after returning to the scene of the 2014 escapade that brought unwanted headlines to the Villages. David Allen Babilla, 60, of Summerfield, will forever be remembered as the younger male half of the notorious after-hours tryst at the pavilion at the Lake Sumter Landing Market Square. Babilla was sentenced to 6 months behind bars for his role in the racy incident involving a married villager who was nearly 20 years elder than him. Babilla was back at Lake Sumter Landing on Sunday night, where he had been drinking and dancing, according to the arrest report. After he'd had his fun for the evening, he climbed into his blue 2004 Jeep SUV, where he was caught alternating between 28 and 41 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone on Buena Vista Boulevard. His vehicle jerked when traveling through the roundabouts on Buena Vista Boulevard. During a traffic stop, Babilla admitted he'd consumed 2 to 5 beers at the square. He struggled through field sobriety exercises and became so frustrated at his ability to correctly recite the alphabet, he began using profanity. He provided breath samples that registered .128 and .127 blood alcohol content. He was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence and booked at the Sumter County Detention Center. He was released after posting a $1,000 bond. I can picture the profanity, can't you? Okay, A, B, D, C. No, wait a minute. A, B, C, G, D, F. God damn it. That's funny. But I can relate. A villager has been arrested after his 2 dogs were found in a hot car in his driveway. Charles Anthony Benz, 68, of the village of Hacienda East, was arrested Thursday on a felony charge of aggravated animal cruelty as well as a misdemeanor charge of animal cruelty. The report noted that Benz had caused the dogs excessive unnecessary pain and suffering. Deputies had been called to Benz's home at about 3 p.m. that day at 1316 Pomona Lane, according to the arrest report. They found 2 large poodles, Cooper and Murphy. Cooper was sitting upright and panting heavily. Murphy's tongue was extended and also panting heavily. Soon Murphy was extremely lethargic and she could no longer stand. The dog appeared to go into a seizure and was unable to drink water. Cold water was poured on the dog in an attempt to revive the animal. The dogs had apparently been left in a black 2016 Chevy SUV parked in direct sunlight with no shade in the driveway at the Benz home. All the SUV's windows were rolled up. The outside temperature was 77 degrees. Now, I know you're going to think 77 wasn't that hot. Black is the worst thing to have on any sunny day. It'll overheat inside. 2 sisters had been passing by and spotted the dogs who appeared to be in distress. The sisters were able to open the SUV's doors and drag the dogs out of the vehicle. It was apparent that the dogs were overheated. One dog had blood coming out of its mouth. Ooh. The sisters initially feared one of the dogs was dead. Ben soon arrived home. He said he had taken the dogs to the dog park and then came home. He had to take his wife to an eye appointment. When Ben arrived home, he spotted someone working in the yard. Ben said he needed to talk to the person and totally spaced out about the dogs. I can go along with that, but down here, you've got to be aware of your dog's a hot car, and you just can't forget him. No more than you could forget a child. He went outside, got into the second vehicle and took his wife to an eye appointment, leaving the dogs behind. He was taken into custody and booked at the Sumter County Detention Center. He was released after posting a $3,500 bond. A villager was arrested after he allegedly attacked a man walking a dog who peed on a pole near his home. Robert Joseph Trawler, 62, of the village of Lake Denham, was arrested Thursday on a charge of battery. Trawler was apparently enraged when he saw the dog urinating on a light near his home on Kenneth Street, according to Lake County Sheriff's Office. Trawler, who stands 6 feet tall and weighs 240 pounds, I have no idea what that has to do with anything. They put some of the stupidest things in these reports. What does it make him 6 foot and 240 pounds? What's that got to do with a dog peeing on him? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm ranting again. Was armed with cutting shears when he confronted the dog walker and attacked him. The dog walker had to fight back and defend himself. Trawler told the deputies that the dog has been a problem for 2 years and that the dog walker had been warned. Now, I'm going to go along with that, even though you just heard me say that was wrong. Now I'm going to tell you that this is right. If that guy'd been letting his dog tell him where I'm going to go pee, because I think I know what's going on here, and it's been going on for 2 years, and this guy was warned about it, it comes a time to where enough is enough. Trawler was booked at Lake County Jail and he was released after posting a $1,000 bond. Now, I'm assuming by reading this report, they're talking about the light that every house here has. It's the one up by your front door, pretty close to the front door, up by the porch that leads into the house. Way up there. Why have you got to walk your dog clear up by a person's house? There's no sense in that. You stay in the street. If a dog wants to urinate in the grassy area, I say within a foot of the road, okay, I guess. I don't agree with that either, but I guess it's okay. They do it here all the time. I've just gotten used to it. But to walk all the way up to the front of a man's house, and the reason where that light pole is, usually there's flowers around that. People plant flowers around their and the dog's peeing all over everything. They'd be taking me to jail too, just to give you fair warning. A visitor to the villages has been ordered to seek a mental health evaluation after creating a scene, leading to her arrest. There's many more of those here. Anna Marie Zapopka, 59, of Box Elder, South Dakota, offer a plea of no contest this past month at Lake County Court to a charge of disorderly conduct. She was placed on probation for 6 months in order to seek mental health evaluation. Officers were called at about 3 p.m. September 9th to the Holiday Inn Express on Avienda Central, where Zapopka was in a lobby yelling and screaming at employees, causing them to fear for their safety. When officers arrived on the scene, hotel employees indicated that Zapopka was not a guest at the hotel. Then why was she even in there? It appeared she had been drinking. Oh, I'm shocked. She was obviously intoxicated and smelled strongly of alcohol. She was exhibiting outlandish behavior and violent demeanor. She refused to calm down. An officer attempted to handcuff Zapopka, who stands 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 115 pounds, but she resisted the officer's efforts. She grabbed onto a nearby maintenance golf cart and refused to be placed in the back of the patrol car. After she was placed in the patrol car and they arrived at the Lake County Jail, Zapopka went limp and refused to walk. A 2-year-old child. I'm not moving. Oh gosh, the officer had to carry her into the intake area of the jail. If I was a police officer, I'd have just grabbed the handcuffs because they hurt. I'd have just drug her in there. So get up, just get up. Zapopka did not return home after the incident. Instead, she registered an address with the court at Sun-Kissed Village RV Resort in Summerfield. I know where that resort is. Linda and I went over there when that place first opened up, and we did a drive-through, and we went inside their rec building, and we did all kinds of videos over there to show you what it looked like on my RV channel. It's really a nice place. Not a lot of shade trees, but it's really a nice place to stay, and you're not but 10 minutes, if that, car ride to downtown Spanish Springs Town Square, and all the shopping and all the restaurants. So it's a good place for an RVer to park. Zapopka had detailed on her social media her travels in the Sunshine State, including a golf cart ride through the villages. So make sure you report everything, ma'am. I think we're going to end up with what I'll call the daily news. I'm trying this as an experiment to see how it works out as far as views go and how many new subscribers I may get. You let me know. The Villages will celebrate the opening of its newest recreation center. A ribbon-cutting celebration is set for 9 a.m. Thursday, March 26th for the Blanchard Recreation Center. Residents are encouraged to come out for the event and see what the new recreation center has to offer. Located at 1512 Craig Court, the new recreation center is situated next to the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. The recreation center has a hot air balloon theme meant to symbolize adventure and new heights. I think we have some pictures of what the inside of the rec center looks like. Let's see if we can bring them up here. The new center features a distinctive design theme inspired by the history of hot air ballooning. The facility's interior is defined by a balloon-inspired aesthetics, highlighted by a large hot air balloon installation created in partnership with Cameron Balloons. This focal point is situated in a high-ceilinged area of the center, complemented by themed wallpaper and 3D wall art depicting various colorful balloons. Continuing the theme, the individual rooms within the center are named after historical pioneers of balloon flight and exploration. For example, one area of the labeled the Yost Room is in honor of Paul Edward Yost, who invented the modern hot air balloon. The lobby and reception areas further incorporated this motif with balloon-shaped pendant lighting and soar signage. Once operational, the Blanchard Recreation Center will offer a range of indoor and outdoor amenities for residents. The center includes dedicated indoor spaces for arts, crafts, billiards, and shuffleboard. The facility also features multiple meeting rooms and casual lounge areas designed for neighborhood gatherings and creative classes. Outdoors, the facility features several courts for pickleball and tennis, as well as area for bocce. A specific date has not been announced for the new center, which is situated at the corner of Corbin Trail and Craig Court. So tell me, what do you think about these new recreation centers? They're all about the same. They just have different motifs inside, different themes inside, but they're all basically about the same. You have recreation centers, neighborhood recreation centers, then you also have regional recreation centers. I can't speak much south of 44, but I think it stays the same here, north of 44 and all the way up to Spanish Springs. Regional rec centers is where you pick up your guest passes. That's the easiest way to pick up a guest pass. You can do it online, so you don't have to go down there and stand in line to get a guest pass. You can just do it online. That's where the sports pools here is all located. I don't know about down there. So these are the little things you need to know, the difference between a regional rec center and a neighborhood recreation center south of 44. Ask the people down there, they can tell you the difference. I can't. I know I've been down there. I think it's about the same, but I'm not 100% sure. Well, I think that's going to be the news for today. That's what happened today in the Villages. Thanks for watching.